Even in the Heisenberg investigation, there seems to be an old photo which looks like the Duke and his younger self-portrait very close to the megamycete or mutamycete, but it is a possibility. What's up, players, and welcome back. Today, I'm going to blow your mind with a theory that completely changes how you see Resident Evil Village. Forget everything you thought you knew about the game's villain hierarchy. Mother Miranda? She was just a pawn. The Four Lords? Nothing but chess pieces. Because I've discovered the true master villain orchestrating everything from the shadows. And when I tell you who it is, you're going to want to replay the entire game. That's right, I'm talking about the Duke. Yes, that Duke. The jolly merchant who helped Ethan throughout his journey. The friendly face who provided weapons, upgrades, and guidance. The mysterious figure who always seemed to be exactly where you needed him. He's not your ally. He never was. He's the puppet master pulling every single string in this horrifying village. And today, I'm going to prove it to you with evidence straight from the game. The Shadows of Rose DLC, and the hidden clues Capcom left scattered throughout the story. So buckle up, hit that like button, and let's dive deep into why the Duke is the most dangerous entity in the entire Resident Evil universe. Let's start with something so obvious it's hidden in plain sight. His name. He's called the Duke. Now, most players probably thought this was just a quirky title, maybe a nickname. But here's the thing. Duke isn't just a random word. A Duke is a noble rank, historically the highest ranking noble below royalty. And what did Dukes do? They ruled over territories. They controlled villages, towns, and entire regions on behalf of, or sometimes even instead of, kings. Sound familiar? The Duke doesn't just operate in this village. He owns it. He controls it. Mother Miranda might wear the crown and play the role of the religious figure, but the Duke? He's the actual power behind the throne. Think about it. Miranda experimented on 4 individuals and created the 4 lords, but she never touched the Duke. Why? Because he was already there. He was already powerful. He was already beyond her control. And here's where it gets even more sinister. The term Duke implies authority over a specific domain. This village, this nightmare scenario with the 4 lords, the Lycans, Mother Miranda's rituals, this is his domain. He allowed Miranda to play her little resurrection game. He permitted the 4 lords to rule their territories. But make no mistake, the Duke was always in charge. Now let's talk about one of the most disturbing aspects of the Duke's behavior that most players completely overlooked. After Ethan defeats each of the 4 lords, Lady Alcina Dimitrescu, Donna Beneviento, Salvatore Moreau, and Karl Heisenberg, what happens to their remains? The Duke takes them. He literally collects them from you.
Does this look familiar to you?
He doesn't just store them away. He turns them into something useful for you. He cooks Moreau's remains. He crafts weapons and upgrades from Dimitrescu's crystallized essence. He processes Heisenberg's mechanical parts. These aren't just business transactions. These are trophies. The Duke is collecting pieces of the 4 lords like a hunter mounting heads on a wall. But why would a simple merchant do this? Why would he have such an intimate knowledge of how to use the biological remains of these mold-infected creatures? The answer is simple. Because he understands the megamycete on a level that possibly surpasses even Mother Miranda. He's not just buying and selling. He's harvesting. He's collecting. And he's helping Ethan eliminate each lord one by one. Remember that scene where Duke reveals where all the Rosemary's flask are after you defeat Dimitrescu? He knows everything that's happening. And he calmly explains to Ethan that he needs to kill the other lords to collect Rose's remaining parts.
How was it? Did you learn anything?
I found these feathers. Now tell me how to fix this like you said you would.
Settle down. First, you must use that key and collect all of your little Rose's flasks.
Where are the rest of them?
There are 4 in total. You have the 1, and the other lords have the rest.
Lords?
Mother Miranda is the cold, calculating ruler of this village. 4 lords serve under her. The first you've already met, the Lady Dimitrescu. The second lives deep in a valley of mist, the doll-maker, Donna Beneviento. None of her playmates have ever come back from that dank old estate. The third is Moreau, a being of twisted flesh that lives in the reservoir past the windmills. It is said that he is not the only monster that lives in those waters. The fourth and most dangerous is Heisenberg. He works in his factory on the village outskirts. And the project. Let's just say parts of the human imagination are better left alone. If you truly wish to save your daughter, you must first gather the 4 flasks. I'll do you a personal favor. I've marked the Lord's locations on your map. Some treasures still lurk in this village. I'm sure each one will prove of great use to you.
Why are you doing all this?
Why, it's all part of our first-class customer service. Please do come again soon.
He's literally guiding Ethan to slaughter the 4 lords for him. And Ethan, desperate to save his daughter, plays right into the Duke's hands. On the surface, Miranda seems to be in control. She commands the 4 lords, conducts her experiments, and rules the village through fear and religious manipulation. But here's what the Duke knows, what we need to understand. Mother Miranda is flawed. She's obsessed. She's consumed by grief over her daughter Eva. And in the Duke's eyes, that obsession makes her a defect. Let me explain. Mother Miranda spent over a century experimenting with the Kadu parasite, creating countless test subjects, trying to find the perfect vessel for Eva's consciousness. She created Lady Dimitrescu, but Miranda deemed her unfit, too unstable, too monstrous. She created Donna Beneviento, but Donna's psychological damage made her a failure. Salvatore Moro? A pathetic creature desperate for Miranda's love, but ultimately useless. Carl Heisenberg, rebellious, powerful, but unsuitable for Eva's pure soul. Miranda called all of them defects, failed experiments. But here's the revelation. The Duke views Miranda as the defect. Think about it. Miranda gained her powers from the Megamycete after falling into that cave following Eva's death. She's powerful, yes. She can shape-shift, manipulate mold, and control entire populations. But she's limited. She's human at her core, twisted by grief and obsession. Her entire century-long plan revolves around bringing back one single child. That's not power. That's weakness. That's desperation. The Duke, on the other hand, shows none of those weaknesses. So if the Duke views Miranda as a defect, what does that make him? Let's look at the evidence of his actual abilities, because they're absolutely terrifying when you piece them together. First, immortality and invulnerability. You can't shoot the Duke. You can't attack him with any weapon in the game. Not even Mother Miranda demonstrates this level of invincibility. She can be hurt. She can be killed. But the Duke? Completely untouchable. But maybe because he is our only ally that can guide us, or is that the plan? Second, omnipresence. How does a massive man in a wagon somehow appear in Castle Dimitrescu, deep in Heisenberg's factory, in the ruins of Beneviento's estate, and everywhere else Ethan needs him? He moves through this nightmare landscape like he's teleporting. He's always exactly where you need him, and always ahead of you. This isn't normal movement. This is someone who exists beyond conventional space, someone connected to the Megamycete itself at a fundamental level. Third, perfect knowledge. The Duke knows everything. He knows who Ethan is before they even meet. He knows about Rose's powers before Ethan does. He knows the layout of the entire village, the weaknesses of all 4 lords, Mother Miranda's plans, and even the ceremony location. He provides Ethan with intel that should be impossible for an outsider to have. Unless he's not an outsider. Unless he's been part of this village's dark history from the very beginning. Fourth, his connection to the Megamycete. This is confirmed in the Shadows of Rose DLC, which we'll get to in detail later. But the key point is this. The Duke has a consciousness that exists within the Megamycetes realm,
Spencer,
just like Miranda. But unlike Miranda,
way.
the Duke's presence there seems more fundamental, more rooted in the organism itself. Here's my theory. The Duke didn't gain his powers from the Megamycete like Miranda did. The Duke is an entity of the Megamycete. He might be a symbiotic evolution of the organism itself, a consciousness that developed over centuries or even millennia within the mold network. He's not infected by it. He is it. And that makes him more powerful than Mother Miranda could ever be. So if the Duke is this incredibly powerful entity, what's his endgame? Why manipulate Ethan into destroying the Four Lords and Mother Miranda? The answer becomes clear when you look at what, or rather who, he's really after. Rosemary Winters. Rose isn't just special. She's not just another mold-infected person. Rose represents something unprecedented, a human child born with complete integration of the Megamycete at a genetic level. Ethan was infected with mold during the events of Resident Evil 7, and that infection was passed to Rose in the womb. But Rose isn't struggling against it like Ethan was. She's evolved with it. She is mold and human simultaneously, perfectly balanced. Mother Miranda recognized Rose's potential and tried to use her as a vessel for Eva. But Miranda's plan was limited by her obsession. She only saw Rose as a container, a body to puppet with her dead daughter's consciousness. The Duke sees something far more valuable. Rose represents the next stage of Megamycete evolution. She's the perfect host, not for Miranda's dead child, but for the Megamycete itself to evolve beyond its current form. And here's the brilliant part of the Duke's manipulation. He lets Miranda do all the work. Miranda crystallizes Rose, proving that Rose's body can survive even complete mutilation. Miranda splits Rose into 4 parts and distributes them to the Four Lords, essentially field testing Rose's regenerative capabilities. Miranda keeps Rose preserved and protected, waiting for the perfect moment. And then the Duke brings in Ethan. Remember, Miranda killed Ethan. She ripped his heart out in Heisenberg's factory. Ethan should have died.
Because of her parents. And you are truly a special case. But I've learned all I can. Your worth as a lab rat has run out.
Miranda! You coward! Come out and face me!
Don't worry. Your death will come quick. You will join the Megamycetes records. I will make sure to sample your blood for later. Once dawn breaks, the ceremony will be complete, and I will become her true mother, bound for eternity in blood. I've waited so long. But dreams really can come true. Vessel or not, I can't wait to see my true child again.
But somehow, impossibly, Ethan wakes up in the Duke's carriage, alive, with no heart, fully infected by mold, but still conscious and determined. Who saved him? Who brought him back? Who understood the mold's properties well enough to resurrect a man without a heart? The Duke. And here's the most chilling part. While all this chaos is happening, Chris Redfield having to fire laser-guided rockets.
All right, Lobo. Marking the target.
Roger that, boss. Bingo! All right! Reloading now. Just a minute. There's a swarm headed that way.
Just to breach Miranda's ritual chamber, soldiers dying, the village being destroyed. The Duke just rolls in with his horse-drawn carriage like he's arriving for afternoon tea. No resistance, no struggle. He just appears, because nothing in that village could stop him even if it wanted to. Now, some of you might still be skeptical. The Duke helped Ethan. He was friendly. He's just a mysterious merchant. But then Capcom released the Shadows of Rose DLC, and everything changed. Because in that DLC, we finally see the Duke's true nature. In Shadows of Rose, which takes place 16 years after the main game, Rose enters the realm of consciousness created by the Megamycete, essentially the collective memory and awareness stored within the Mold Network. And who does she encounter there as the primary antagonist? The Masked Duke. This version of the Duke is sadistic, cruel, and openly hostile. He hunts Rose through the nightmare landscape of Castle Dimitrescu, commanding monsters called Face Eaters to torture and kill copies of Rose that Miranda had created as potential vessels. The Masked Duke creates something called the Gallery of Despair, a horrific collection of these Rose copies, killed in brutal ways and displayed as trophies. Sound familiar? Just like he collected the Four Lords' remains, he's collecting Roses. Now, the game tries to explain this away by saying Miranda created the Masked Duke from fragments of the Duke's consciousness within the Megamycete. But here's the problem with that explanation. If Miranda could create and control aspects of the Duke's consciousness, that means the Duke was part of the Megamycete all along. You can't extract someone's consciousness from the Mold Network unless they're fundamentally connected to it. And here's the more disturbing implication. The Masked Duke's personality, sadistic, calculating, obsessed with finding the perfect vessel, that's not a corruption. That's the Duke's real personality, stripped of the friendly merchant facade he wore to manipulate Ethan. The game tells us that Miranda created the Masked Duke to test Rose copies and find a suitable vessel for Eva. But think about that. Why would Miranda give this task to the Duke specifically? Why would she trust him with this? Unless the Duke convinced her to. Unless he manipulated Miranda the same way he manipulated Ethan. Remember, we're dealing with a realm of consciousness here. Miranda thought she controlled this realm, but the Duke's presence there suggests something different. What if the Duke had been influencing Miranda all along through the Megamycete network? What if he planted the idea of Rose being the perfect vessel? What if Miranda's entire century-long obsession was shaped by the Duke's manipulation? And here's the real kicker. At the end of Shadows of Rose, after Miranda is truly defeated and her consciousness destroyed, what happens to the Duke? He doesn't die. His presence in the Megamycete doesn't end. He just fades back into the shadows. Still out there. Still waiting. Let's zoom out and look at the bigger picture of what the Duke has accomplished through his manipulation. 1. Elimination of Mother Miranda. The Duke recognized that Miranda's obsession made her a failed steward of the Megamycete's power. So he engineered her downfall using Ethan as the weapon. Check. 2. Elimination of the Four Lords. Dimitrescu, Beneviento, Moreau, and Heisenberg were all powerful mold-infected beings, but they were Miranda's creations, flawed, unstable, and limited. The Duke harvested them, collecting their unique biological properties. Check. 3. Field testing of Rosemary Winters. Through Miranda's ritual, the Duke learned that Rose could be crystallized, divided, and reconstituted, proving her body's incredible adaptability and resilience. Check. 4. Evolution of the Megamycete. With Rose's powers awakened and Miranda's research completed, the Duke now has access to the most advanced understanding of mold evolution ever achieved. Check. 5. Maintaining his anonymity. Throughout all of this, the Duke never revealed his true nature. Ethan died believing the Duke was his ally. Chris Redfield and the BSA have no idea what the Duke really is. He's still out there, unknown and unmonitored. Check. The Duke didn't just outplay Mother Miranda. He outplayed everyone. And the most terrifying part? We have no idea what his ultimate goal is. Some fans have theorized that the Duke might be connected to the merchant from Resident Evil 4, who similarly appeared everywhere, knew everything, and couldn't be killed. What if there's an entire network of these entities? What if the Duke is part of something much larger, an ancient organization or species that's been influencing Resident Evil's events from the shadows for decades? The Duke mentions investors multiple times during the game. Who are these investors? Are they other entities like him? Are they funding his collection of bioweapon materials across Europe? And here's the most chilling question. If the Duke wanted Mother Miranda dead because of her obsession and flawed nature, and if he's now aware of Rosemary's power, what does he plan to do with that knowledge? So there you have it, survivors. The Duke isn't just a mysterious merchant. He's not just a helpful NPC. He's the true master villain of Resident Evil Village, a being of immense power who manipulated everyone, from Mother Miranda to Ethan Winters, to accomplish his own mysterious goals. The evidence is overwhelming. His name literally means ruler of a territory. He collected the four lords' remains as trophies. He demonstrated powers that surpass even Miranda's. He orchestrated Ethan's journey to eliminate all obstacles. He saved and revived Ethan to complete the mission. He appears as an antagonist in the Megamycete realm in Shadows of Rose. He remains active and undefeated even after Miranda's destruction. Mother Miranda was obsessed with resurrecting her daughter. The four lords were failed experiments. But the Duke? The Duke is playing a game so complex that we've only just begun to understand it. He views Miranda as a defect because of her limitations and obsession. He recognized Rose as the perfect evolution of human Megamycete integration, and he used everyone as pawns to achieve his goals. The scariest part? He won, completely, and he's still out there. Capcom has been hinting at the Duke's importance since Village launched, and the Shadows of Rose DLC confirmed that he's far more than he appeared. I believe the Duke is being set up as a major player in future Resident Evil games. He represents something we haven't seen before in this franchise. Not a corporation seeking bioweapons, not a mad scientist, not a cult leader, but an ancient, intelligent entity that exists within the mold itself, pursuing goals we can't even comprehend yet. The Duke is the puppet master. Mother Miranda was just another puppet, and we've only just realized we were watching a puppet show all along. So what do you think, survivors? Do you believe the Duke is the true villain of RE Village? What do you think his ultimate goal is? And what role will he play in Resident Evil 9? Let me know in the comments below. If this theory blew your mind, smash that like button and subscribe for more deep dive Resident Evil lore, theories, and analysis. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss when I uncover the next big mystery hidden in your favorite horror games. Thanks for watching, survivors. Stay safe out there. And remember, the Duke is always watching, always waiting, and he's never really on your side. I'll see you in the next video.
Rose! Shh. Shh. It's all right, Rose. It's all right.
Ethan! Ethan! Come on, Ethan. Come on, Ethan, wake up. Oh, no.
Chris,
Ethan, you did it. It's finished.
I think we've finished each other.
Ethan, we gotta move. Keep moving, Ethan. There's a bomb in that thing that'll blow this whole village sky high. Hey, look at me. When I hit this trigger, we can't be anywhere near it. Ah, damn it. Mia's waiting for you. She's alive, you hear me? Alive.
Mia, I'm so sorry. I love you. Keep Rose. Safe.
Hey, hey! Hey! And you tell yourself. Now come on, it's not that much further.
Watch over her. Teach her to be strong. God damn it. Goodbye, Rosemary.
Ethan.
Rose?
Go! Go! Take us up now!
Wait! Where's Ethan?
Get moving. We have to get clear.
No! We can't go, not without my husband!
Mia, sit down and strap in.
Not before you tell me where Ethan is. I know he wouldn't abandon us. Tell me what's going on. Where? What was that?
I told you to sit down.
Where is he? Chris? What have you done?
He's gone! I tried. He stayed so we could all escape. I'm sorry.
Captain, you need to see this. BSAA didn't send soldiers. This is a bioweapon.
What the hell were they thinking?
Orders, Captain.
Pick up the rest of the squad. Plot a course for BSAA Europe HQ. Someone's gotta pay.